This session will focus on how to implement the update and delete functionalities. These operations completes the full CRD cycle and make our application dynamic and fully interactive. Let us start implementation. Open both front-end and back-end projects and execute it. To implement update operation, first we need to fetch a particular record based on its primary key from the database. Then after making a changes on the existing records, we need to save those changes permanently on the database. So open jobs.manager.java, create a method to get a particular record based on its primary key. Public string, I just name the method as get data with a parameter primary key long id. Inside create try catch to handle the exceptions. If any error occurred during this process, we can return the error message with error code 404 by concatenating the error message e.getMessage. Then inside try block, we can write a logic to fetch a particular record from the database. So create object for the entity class jobs from the package klu.model. I just name the object as J. Then by using object of jobs repository, we can use the function find by ID. So jr dot find by ID and pass primary key as an input. So this method will perform search operation into the database based on the primary key. Then we need to get that particular record from the database and save it on the object J. Then we can return the Java object by converting into JSON by using JSON builder dot create dot to JSON and pass the Java object J. So this will convert the Java object into JSON and returns as a response. After implementation, go to the file jobs.controller.java and create a new endpoint to get particular record from the database based on the primary key. So at the rate get mapping, just name it as get data with a parameter id. Then implement a method public string get data. Take input from the path variable. So use the annotation at the rate path variable and the name of the variable is id and define data type long id. Inside, by using a return statement, use the object of implementation class jm dot. Just now there we created a method get data. So call the method get data and pass the primary key as an input. Then save changes. Test this particular endpoint by using a postman. So open postman. Make sure the backend project is running. Then provide the URL. So we used at the rate get mapping. So request type is get and provide the URL http://localhost with port number 8080 and name of the API jobs. Inside there is a microservice with the name get data. So get data / id primary key we need to pass. Then submit a request by click on the send button and wait for the response. It will bring one particular record based on the primary key. Next we can integrate this with the front end to fetch a particular record based on the primary key. Then we can make changes and save those changes on the database permanently. Go to front end, open the file job postings.jsx. Inside render, already we declared the states. In addition, we need to add one more state for handling the primary key. So id is the primary key. Add it in the states list. Then go to the constructor, initialize the newly added state id with null value. Then save changes. Inside render, find out the image tag which is provided to perform edit operation. There, add on click event, use arrow function and call this dot update data and pass primary key as an input. So data dot id. Then create a method with this name update data. So copy the function name, just go above to the render and create a function with the name update data with a parameter id. Inside, establish a connection with the backend by using the function call API, and request type is get and provide URL, base URL plus the remaining part in the URL. So we can take the remaining part of the URL from the postman, that is jobs slash get data slash 1. So provide the remaining part of URL, and instead of giving a static value of primary key, you can concatenate the parameter ID. Then there is no JSON data, so pass empty string and call the response handler, this dot update response. So next, create a function with the name update response. Copy the function name, create a function update response with the default parameter response. Inside, process your JSON data. Before processing, validate if your response having error message. So response dot includes the error code 404 and double colon. Then return the error message. By using alert, return the error message response dot split based on the special character double colon, and pass the message which is available on right hand side with index number 1. Error code will go to index number 0, the error message will be on index number 1, and terminate the further execution of this particular function by using return statement. If there is no error, we can process and update the states. Let data equal to json dot parse response. Once the response is processed, then update the state. This dot set state. So list out all the states here and update value from the response. ID, value taken from data.id. Then title, value taken from data.title. And the third state, name of the company, value from data.company. You should not have a spelling mistake. Then location, take value from data.location. Next, job type, value data.job type. And then salary, data.salary. Then the last one, description, value from data.description. After updating a state, we need to open a pop-up to display all the details on the front end. So we can call this dot show pop-up. Show pop-up is already implemented. So then save changes. Here the state is updated. So the function update response must be binded inside the constructor. So go to the constructor and bind the function update response. This dot update response equal to this dot update response dot bind and pass current object as a parameter. So after binding, save changes, go to browser, click on job posting, then click on any one of the edit icon. So let me click on the edit icon. It will open a pop-up with all the details fetched from the database. Next, we need to modify the content and perform save operation into the database. So go to backend project, implement a new method to perform update operation into the database. So create a method to perform update operation. I just name the method as update job and take entity class object as a parameter. Inside, create a try catch to handle the exceptions. Inside catch block, we can return the error message with error code 404 by concatenating e dot get message. Inside try block, to save the object j into the database and return a success message as a response. So by using the object of jobs repository j or dot, call the method save and pass the parameter object as an input. Then return the response with success code 200. Job details has been updated. Then go to controller, jobs controller.java, create a new endpoint to perform update operation. Since it is an update operation, I'm using the annotation @put mapping. Provide name of the service, update, and create a method public string update and take inputs from the request body. Request body object of entity class jobs j. Inside, just return by using the implementation class object jm dot and call the method which is created to perform update operation into the database. Update jobs and pass j as a parameter. Then go to front end, integrate this particular microservice to perform update operation into the database. In front end, find out the button which is placed to perform save operation. In that button, we already added on click event. If user click on the button, it will try to execute the function save job. So go to the function save job. Here we need to take a decision to call the API. So one of the API already implemented to make new entry into the database. Just now we created another API to make changes on the existing record in the database. So it can be decided by using the value of the state ID. So if condition is evaluated, if this dot state dot ID equal to null, then we need to make new entry into the database. If the value of id is not equal to null means it is a existing record, so there is some changes made on the existing record, then we need to perform update operation. So else part we can call the newly created API. So what is the mapping we used for the newly created API update is put mapping. So request type is put and second parameter is the URL. So base URL plus name of the API. Inside there is a service with the name update. And the third one JSON data. And the fourth one the response handler. So no need to create a separate response handler. Already save response is there. We can reuse it. This dot save response. Then save changes. Go to front end. Click on edit. Make changes. Just changing the minimum number of years required as 3. Then click on update. I'm getting a response. Job details has been updated, which came from the function update job. Job details has been updated. So then click on OK and close pop-off. So we already make changes on the job description. I changed minimum 3 years experience required, but it's not reflected on the dashboard. The reason is we need to re-render the component. Click on job search, then click on job posting. Whatever changes we made is reflected on it. To resolve this issue, inside save response, we can call the method this dot component did mount. The component did mount function is executed at the time of component rendering on the browser. So this function will call the API to fetch all the records from the database and update the dashboard. So we can call this function inside save response. Then go to constructor, bind the function save response. This dot save response equal to this dot save response dot bind and pass current object. Inside save response, we try to call component did mount so that it must be binded inside the constructor. Then save changes, go to the front end, click any one of the edit icon and make some changes. Here I'm going to update the salary detail. Instead of 10 LPA, I'm going to change it as 12 LPA. Then click on save. It will return the response. Job details has been updated. Then click on OK. So immediately the salary package is updated for the first entry on the backend. So it changed from 10 LPA to 12 LPA. Then we need to focus on implementing a delete operation. So go to the backend, create a new method to perform delete operation. Inside job manager.java, create a new method to perform delete operation. Public string delete job with a parameter primary key long id. Inside create a try catch to handle the exceptions. Here we can return the error message. Inside a try block, by using object of job repository, we can call the function delete by id. So find out the method delete by id and pass primary key as an input. These will perform delete operation. Then we can return acknowledgement with the success code 200. Then save changes. Go to jobs controller and create a new endpoint to perform delete operation. @delete mapping. Here we can provide name of the service delete with the input id. Then public string delete, take value from the URL. So use @path variable and variable name id. So what is the variable name we provided here, that we need to mention here. Then create a data type long id. Inside return, by using object of implementation class jm dot and call the method delete job and pass primary key as a input. Then save changes. Integrate these microservice into the front end to perform delete operation. Go to front end, find out the image tag which is provided to perform delete operation. So here we can add on click event, use arrow function and call this dot delete data and pass primary key as a parameter data.id. Then implement a function with the name delete data. So copy the name which is used in on click event for delete image. Then create a function with the name delete data with the parameter id. So here we can establish the connection with the backend by using call API. There we used the annotation delete mapping. So the request type is delete and provide the URL, base URL, concatenate the remaining part of the URL, jobs slash delete slash primary key id, and there is no JSON data, so null string, and call response handler. So no need to create a separate response handler to perform delete operation. We can reuse the response handler of save response. So before deletion we need to get confirmation from the user. So let response equal to, we can use the confirm dialog to get confirmation from the user. So there you can display the message, click OK to confirm the deletion and validate the condition if the response equal to false. Suppose the user click on cancel button, the value of object response equal to false. If they click on OK, the value of response is true. If they click on cancel, the value of response is false. So if it is false, no need to perform delete operation. So we can terminate the execution by using a return statement. If they click on OK, then delete the particular entry from the database. Then save changes, go to browser, click on delete icon in any one of the entry. So let me try to delete the first entry. It will prompt a dialog to get confirmation from the user. If user click on cancel, because of return statement, it will terminate the further execution. So the record will not be deleted. If user click on OK, then it make changes on the database. We are getting a response, job details has been deleted. Then click on OK. The save response function will call the component didmon function. So the component didmon function will fetch all the records from the database and display it on the dashboard. So click on OK. The entry of first record has been removed. We successfully implemented update and delete operations.